You know what my favorite character from the town was? The city of Boston. Welcome to Mythical Kitchen, where dreams become food. Have you ever been trying to decide between eating dinner over the garbage can from a vending machine or going to your favorite Australian bar and restaurant? Now you don't have to, because we're taking Funyuns and we're crusting that in a Bloomin' Onion. Why would we crust a Funyun in a Bloomin' Onion? We're crusting a Bloomin' Onion in Funyuns. Let's make the dang onion. If you're following along at home, you can snag the time codes. right there. The time codes are right there, where you can snag them and make the recipe yourself. I hope you do. Let's get cooking. What we have here is an onion. It was made famous by that one Shia LaBeouf movie, Transformers 2. And so what we're gonna do to bloom the onion, we're gonna go ahead and saw off the top here. So this is a very delicate butchery process. The bloom and cut is something very specific. Outback has actually patented a machine that they do it with, but today you are the machine, like Sasha Vujacic. No one's gonna get that reference. That's exciting for me. Look up Sasha Vujacic the Machine on YouTube. All right, so you're just gonna take the onion, you're gonna saw off the top, and then you're just gonna peel off the skin, just the outer layer. You really want to make sure to keep the root intact. You're gonna take the little, it's called a merkin in the business. So we're gonna go ahead and just saw off those little hairs right there. So you wanna make 8 concentric cuts across the onion. I failed geometry. Yeah, we got it. It's intuitive. It's more intuitive than you think. It's like folding a crunch wrap. It's one of those like intricate, sacred geometrical patterns that exist in the food world. So you wanna cut pretty deep into that, but you wanna make sure that you're keeping the root intact. So don't make the cut go all the way through. And then you're gonna go ahead and cut that into quarters. And then you're gonna cut the quarters into You're gonna quarter the quarters. Just keep cutting the onion until it feels right. You'll notice by keeping the root intact, that all actually is pretty simple. And then we're just gonna do one more cut. All right. Shh. If you speak, the onion's gonna fall apart. Now, what are the benefits of a bloomin' onion as opposed to just like frying up some onions? Nothing. We have this onion all opening up, but we gotta create a dipping sauce. Now at the Outback, they got a vague pink mayonnaise, and if there's one thing I know in this world, it's vague pink mayonnaise. But instead of that, we're gonna do a homemade French onion dip, because we're already infusing Funyuns into the onions, but now we're gonna infuse 3 different kinds of onions into the onion dip to infuse into the Funyun-crusted Bloomin' Onion, as featured in the Shia LaBeouf movie. All right, so we are making our French onion dip here. That is one of my all-time classic favorite foods. I remember going to like Super Bowl parties when I was younger. People take that little Lipton French onion soup mix and they add it to like sour cream, a little bit of mayonnaise, you got your French onion dip. But I've never actually made it from scratch until recently. And so this is one of my favorite things to do because you get almost the same flavor, but 10 times the amount of work. But it's fun, it's rewarding, you know? It's like when people are like, why should I make my own ice cream from scratch instead of buying it from the store? And it's like, because sweat makes things taste good, not physically. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna peel an onion, you got a pan heated. Key to working with onions, Rachel Ray, I remember watching her show back in the day, 30-Minute Meals, and she was like, always have a trash bowl next to you, so when you're like discarding onion skins, you can just put it right in there. And so that's why I always keep it right on the ground next to my feet. I mentioned we're using 3 different kinds of onions. We got white onion, and we got red onion. And shallot. Shallot is almost an onion, right? You're gonna palm heel strike the shallot. That's just gonna break it open, and then you can peel it. I can't believe that worked. I didn't think it would work. So we're gonna get some butter working in a pan. Then we're just gonna caramelize these onions. You can really just turn them and burn them for this because we're gonna be blending the onions into some mayonnaise and some cheese. If your onions start to burn, you can just deglaze it with water. It's one of my favorite little cheats for caramelizing onions. There was a really famous article that came out a while ago where people were like, why does every recipe say it takes 15 minutes to caramelize onions? It takes 45 minutes at least to properly caramelize onions. Like, that's where you're going wrong. You're trying to do stuff proper in the kitchen, just cheat it. You get the same thing, especially like we're not working in a French kitchen. We ain't in no French bistro. We ain't even in an Outback Steakhouse, which I have nothing but respect for. So really you can just burn the onions, deglaze it with water, and you get the same caramelized onion flavor as you would if you're doing it low and slow. All right, into the trash bowl. Sorry. And then other things that are going into this dip. We got some garlic going in there. Garlic and onion, obviously a good flavor combination. We also want to play off the kind of sweet of that onion. So we're gonna go ahead and be throwing in a little bit of fresh thyme. Thyme comes on little sticks. And so what you do is you just take your fingers and you can just pull off the leaves. All right, so we're gonna take all of our onions and our thyme. We're gonna get those sweating in the butter. Just wanna hit this hard for about 15 minutes. When the thyme's actually gonna toast in the butter as well, you're gonna get that nice and fragrant. We're also gonna add a little bit of sugar just to help these caramelize. Again, when I'm talking about cheating caramelized onions, if you're cooking them low and slow for like 45 minutes, you're extracting all the natural sugars out of them that way. But if you're pressed for time or you just got the ADD like I do, then you just add a little bit of sugar to it, and the sugar is actually gonna caramelize in the bottom of the pan. It's gonna kind of cheat it. And a little bit of salt too. Salt's gonna help dry out the moisture of those onions. And then you got pepper, because pepper tastes good. Then you take your garlic, you're gonna palm heel strike, all four. And then you're just gonna get them out of the garlic shells. You can eat the garlic shells. You can eat anything with a shell. You ever see people eat peanut shells? That's weird. I hope I'm not offending any of you, but people are out there eating peanut shells, and that's weird to me. But I get it as a kid, because I ate peanut shells as a kid, but that's because like, you know, and we're just gonna give this a rough job. All this is gonna go in the blender anyway, so you don't have to worry too much about your knife cuts. But the more even you have your stuff cut, the more even it's going to brown in the pan. And then this is gonna go right in the pot as well. You can smell everything getting nice and fragrant. And the key to cooking is keeping your station clean. Like an onion war zone. So go ahead and just saute those onions up. This is gonna cook down for about 15 minutes. Then we're gonna take that, we're gonna let it cool a little bit, and then we're gonna take all that super concentrated allium flavor. That's your onions, that's your garlic, that's your shallots that we punched and tenderized. And then we're gonna get it in the blender with a little bit of mayonnaise and cheese, and that's really gonna, it's gonna mayonnaise and cheese it up is all it's gonna. I was acting like it was gonna do something scientific. That's really gonna round out the nuts. No, it's gonna get mayonnaise in your body. We've had these cooking down. Now we've turned them off the heat and we've let these onions cool in the pan for just about 15 minutes. You don't wanna blend hot onions with your cold mayonnaise, because then there's gonna be steam releasing off the onions, and that's gonna get water in your mayonnaise. So if you see that the onions are super nice and jammy, they're nice and caramelized. We didn't take them too far. And so we're gonna add all of the caramelized onions to the blender. And then we're gonna take some cheese that is Gruyere, a variety. You can use any cheese. You can use Swiss, you can use cheddar, you can use goat, you can use brie, you can use blue, you can use Fontina, you can use pecorino. How much time is this filling up? We have an ad run yet? We're using a little bit of Gruyere. It's one of my favorite cheeses. It's like Swiss with a little bit extra, you know? So we're just gonna dump that in there, and then we're gonna add a little bit of mayonnaise. I remember once I thought I was about to get homemade French onion dip, because I went to someone's house and they were like, this is my secret recipe. They're like, secret recipe for French onion dip. And I was like, oh my God, this is gonna be incredible, because I'm only in the box stuff. And all they did was they took the Lipton soup packet, put it into sour cream, and then added a pinch of black pepper. The pinch of black pepper was their secret. And now I revealed your secret, Alan. You're gonna start slow, and now you're just gonna run it. Just let it all incorporate itself. There you go. You gotta play with the dials a little bit. There we go. Nice, and all the onions really get dragged down into the mayonnaise. Mayonnaise tornado is what's going on in there. So now we got your beautiful French onion dip. It's nice and smooth. This is gonna be perfect for that Bloomin' Funyun. Let's take a little taste. Ooh, we should change the recipe. Just mayonnaise and onion bisque. Because I could eat this with a spoon. This is nice. So you're gonna take your French onion dip from the blender. We're gonna add a little bit of black pepper. Thanks, Alan, for that secret tip. And then we're just gonna add this to the bowl, and then we're gonna get to frying up that Bloomin' Onion. All right, so if you can see, we have our beautiful bloomed onion straight from down under. My name's Katie Stone, and you're watching the Outback channel. What we're gonna do, we're gonna blend up onions, because we're gonna take that Bloomin' Onion, and normally it's coated in like breadcrumbs and all that, but we're gonna turn Funyuns into breadcrumbs. We're gonna pack all that onion flavor. God, what an intoxicating smell. As far as huffing stuff goes, Funyuns are among the safest and most pleasant things to huff. So, I'm gonna go ahead and add a whole bag of Funyuns in there. Keep a couple for snacking though, because you're gonna want them. And I'm gonna take a nice little handful of flour. I'm gonna cut the onion. I'm sorry, I'm just enjoying this Funyun. All right, so we got the Funyuns in the blender. But while that's working, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna add in a little bit of extra garlic powder. We're gonna add a little bit of salt, and then a little bit of baking soda. That's not gonna do much. And then I'm gonna add some white pepper to it as well. Since we're cutting the Funyuns with flour, we want to add, there we go, mash it up. We wanna add a little bit of extra flavor to really bolster it. I really do love the Outback though. Outback is one of the most consistent chain restaurants. I would go there for like a fancy meal. And also shout out to my buddy Dave in college who worked out the Outback. And so we used to always just go there. It was one of those Outbacks under a freeway, right? Like not one of the prime Outback locations. We used to just go there and we'd just get free steaks and liquor and just have ourselves a time with the locals. That was fun. I miss going places. All right, so we got that. This oil is probably like burnt. Give me a sec, give me a sec, give me a sec. Uh-oh. All right, so we got our Bloomin' Onion all bloomed up. Oh, these are eggs from a chicken. And so we're gonna go ahead and crack the eggs in there. We're creating the wets. We need to dust our wets here. It's from a tweet that only I know about. The amount of jokes that you see me say on here, everyone's like, well, the Mythical Kitchen's so overwritten. No one writes things. I just say a million things, and the editors pick the 15 that make me sound the least insane. So I'm adding milk to eggs. What that's gonna do is it's gonna create an emulsification called egg milk. This is a classic dredge and fry situation. You're gonna take the onion, you're gonna dip it into the flour. We got these heavily seasoned breadcrumbs. That is going to season all of it throughout. The key to the Bloomin' Onion, however, we saw the intricate knife cuts. We got the whole onion all bloomed and unfurled like a Georgia O'Keeffe painting. And so we gotta get Trevor, Google Georgia O'Keeffe paintings, you'll learn something. We got our onion. I'm just gonna put it into the flour and then I'm gonna lovingly dust our wets with our dries. In theory, you would wanna separate literally every petal and get all of the flour in there. And in theory, that's what they do at the Outback, but I've been to enough to know that not every Bloomin' Onion's perfectly battered. Don't do anything you don't wanna do. I haven't been to the dentist in years. I cracked a tooth on a burger the other day. Maybe do things you don't want to do. Now we're gonna go into our egg mixture. I'm gonna go face side down. That's the proper anatomy. And then I'm gonna use my hands and just kind of dollop some egg wash in there. Really kind of use your fingers to press it in between the petals. And then I'm gonna drain some of that egg wash out. And then I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna press this mouth side down right into those Funyun bits. I'm gonna turn it over, and again, just try and dust everything in between all the petals as much as you possibly can. Possibly? The H was that? Who am I, Ben Affleck? Ben Affleck from The Town. That was a good movie. You know what my favorite character from The Town was? The city of Boston. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. Outback has a whole machine that does this. You're gonna take chopsticks, and you're gonna poke at it intermittently. That's gonna separate the petals. So 340, it'll drop down to about 310 or so, and then it'll rise back up. You need this to cook the onion, because that's just a big old brick of vegetable as seen in that Shia LaBeouf movie. Let's take a peek-see at this Bloomin' Onion, and holy crud on a cripes, that looks incredible. Look at that, jeepers creepers, my neepers are hard. That is a fantastic looking Bloomin' Onion. This is a team effort. Thank you everybody for being a part of this. And big shout out to Oprah Winfrey for book club for getting me through this. All we gotta do now is you put the food in your mouth and then you mash your teeth at it, and then you let it slide down your throat hole. All right, this Bloomin' Onion looks absolutely incredible and I can't wait to dig into it, but I'm gonna let sound guy Chris dig into it because I respect sound guy Chris's opinion. Chris, your opinion's valued. All right, so we are keeping socially distant, so I am gonna hit Chris. I'm not gonna hit Chris with the mythical spork harpoon, but I am gonna let him come and try it. So Chris, why don't you just step on in here and just take a piece for yourself with your hands.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Whoa, Josh.
The spork cam can be kind of symbolic.
I don't know, the onion's blooming right in front of me. I'm a little nervous.
What? Don't be nervous about the onion. Just think of Georgia O'Keeffe. No, you gotta use two
There we
hands.
go.
All right, wait.
All right.
No, let me get the dip.
I'm gonna put this in my mouth and then I want you to feed me this.
Yes.
Okay.
There's, keep it, don't chew. Not yet. Now, slurp. How is it?
I like the mayo is a necessity.
The mayo coats the tongue.
I feel the taste of Australia.
Yeah, you're going
delicious.
down under.
Yes, deep down under.
Deep down, you're getting real deep under there. If there's anything we learned today, it's that Bloomin' Funyuns are delicious and that we just need to be eating more Funyuns, and also that Georgia O'Keeffe, well, I don't think she was really painting flowers, to be honest, if I'm being really honest.
What was she painting?
And that's the question of the day. Thank you so much for stopping by the Mythical Kitchen. We got new recipes for you every week. We got new episodes of our podcast out every Wednesday, wherever you get your podcasts. Hit us up on Instagram at Mythical Kitchen with pictures of your mythical dishes under hashtag Dreams Become Food. We'll see you next time.
Get as messy as you want in your own kitchen when you have the Mythical Kitchen Towel, available now at mythical.com.